Why did Jesus heal on the Sabbath? In today's video, we're going to look at that. But before I go any further, if you wouldn't mind clicking the subscribe button, as well as clicking the thumbs up, the like button beneath the video, that would really bless me. We just crossed over 100 subscribers this week, which honestly is super exciting to me. However, I also know that according to YouTube's analytics, about 70 to 80% of you guys that have clicked onto my videos to watch them aren't yet subscribers, and it would honestly mean the world to me if you would consider subscribing. This video is going to be a little different than normal. Every video I've made so far has dealt with something I've read in a book that I'm in, and I recently finished Raised on the Third Day by Michael Licona and David Beck, and I recently started Faith Alone by Thomas Schreiner, but today's video deals with neither of those books. Rather, I'm actually diving into John chapter 9. Now, my pastor has been going through the book of John at church on Sunday mornings. I go to Reliance Church in Temecula, California. Their website is reliancechurch.org. I'll link the actual video from Sunday in the description. But in John chapter 9, Jesus heals a man that had been born blind, and he heals this man on the Sabbath. And a point that my pastor drove home about this is that Jesus had healed on the Sabbath multiple times. And many of these times, it appears that Jesus was ruffling the feathers of the religious leaders, that he was driving home the point that man was not created for the Sabbath, but the Sabbath was created for man as a blessing, and yet the religious leaders had turned it into a bunch of rules and regulations. But it got me thinking, could there have been another reason why Jesus chose to heal on the Sabbath? And this sent me down the rabbit hole. Now, we know in Revelation chapter 21 that John says that he sees a new heaven and a new earth. And out of this, he sees this holy city descending out of heaven, made like a bride adorned for her husband. And a voice from the throne saying, "Look, the residence of God is among human beings. He will live among them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death will not exist anymore, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the former things have ceased to exist." And the one seated on the throne said, "Look, I am making all things new." In Isaiah 25 as well, it speaks of how the Lord on that day will hold a banquet for the nations on this mountain, speaking of Zion. And at this banquet there will be plenty of meat and aged wine. And then it says, a verse later, that he will swallow up death permanently. It says that the sovereign Lord will wipe away every tear from every face, and that he'll remove his people's disgrace from all the earth. And then at that time they'll say, "Look, here is our God. We waited for him, and he delivered us." Now, why does that matter in correlation to Jesus healing on the Sabbath? Well, because it says in verse 9 of chapter 4 of Hebrews, "Consequently, a Sabbath rest remains for the people of God." Jesus healed on the Sabbath, yes, to prove a point to the religious leaders. But Jesus healed on the Sabbath because Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. And there is a day coming when his Sabbath rest, the rest spoken of in Hebrews chapter 4, that we get a taste of here, that we get a taste of in relationship with Christ, that the ultimate fulfillment of that rest is coming. And so Jesus was free to heal on the Sabbath, not only because he's Lord of the Sabbath, but because he will be the fulfillment of the Sabbath. That the final day, when we will truly rest, we will rest from death, we will rest from pain, we will rest from sorrow and suffering. We will rest from these things because he is our rest. That's all I've got for you guys today. Once again, if you would consider subscribing, if you would consider clicking the like button, if this video blessed you, challenged you, encouraged you, if you'd be willing to share this on your social media, that would really bless me. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you next time.